This is a come along with me and let's look at what is new in skincare. When I was young, there was really limited choices when it came to skincare. And as we go along here, we have more and more and more choice and innovation in the market. And even if it's something that we are not personally going to buy and use, it's pretty cool to see where the industry is going. So my hope is that you view these videos almost like you're flipping through a magazine and just reading about new skincare on the market, because that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through all of these new things that are on my radar that I wanted to share with you. First thing we're going to talk about is something from the brand called Exponent. Now, this is very, very new on my radar, and essentially it is the kind of skincare that you build your own custom skincare routine, and you get single dose applications out of it. Now, it took me a minute to figure this out. It took me a little bit of sleuthing to figure out how to even put this together, but I was really kind of intrigued by the entire concept of it. Basically, what you get is a base. You get this base and you put in it a hyaluronic acid serum that serves as your kind of base to the entire skincare routine. Then you get actives depending on what you want. And those actives go into kind of this topper thing. And you put them together and you essentially give yourself one single dose each time you want to use it. So you have 90 applications in the hyaluronic acid serum that is inside here. And then you get 45 applications in any of the actives that you choose. I think that the novelty and the intrigue, as far as I'm concerned, comes in the way of its single serving freshness. I do think that that is really, really cool. We're not new to powder, ascorbic acid, or things like that, but to have a system that is designed where you can customize whatever active you want to use, and it is fresh right when you mix it for you to apply, which means that that active is going to stay good longer in its powder form, obviously. So the one that I have is their CoQ10. Now, I'm really, really interested in this particular ingredient as a topical, and as I did a little bit more of a deep dive into it, I was intrigued to read scientific studies that show that CoQ10 actually can be quite effective topically. It's definitely proven to be one of those molecules that can get into the skin and affect some change. So that was pretty exciting to me. The other thing that I thought was interesting is that it affects cellular energy. And that's something different than a lot of these other things that I ever use. You don't really hear a lot about that in topicals necessarily, especially effective topicals. Now, the other thing about CoQ10 is that it is an antioxidant. And so, of course, we know that that is helpful in fending off aggressors that can damage our collagen and elastin, etc., and cause us to age from an external source. So antioxidants are super duper important as protection against more rapid aging, essentially. So anyway, I'm super interested in CoQ10. So that's the active that I have. Exponent also has, they have a retinol. Let's see, they have a green tea and resveratrol. They also have a vitamin C, which of course we know in a powder form, freshly mixed, especially when it's L-ascorbic acid, is definitely going to give you the most bang for your buck on a one-off basis, because there's no degradation, because vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid, is extremely unstable. And so typically what happens is you get a vitamin C, even if it's super well formulated, and on day, let's say 90 that you're using a bottle of vitamin C, it isn't as effective as day one when you first open that bottle. We all know that and we accept it. And there's been many, many advances in formulation to stabilize it as long as possible, but no doubt freshly mixed vitamin C from a powder is going to be the most effective. We've seen that with brands like The Ordinary, and some other brands have powder vitamin C's that you can mix up fresh. This brand takes that and they give you the entire method by putting a serum into a base, and then you buy your actives separately, and you have a mechanism for actually getting that one dose that perfect amount for application that one single time, and then everything else remains active, stable, and in its unmixed form, if that makes sense. Now, they also have a probiotic enzyme powder, and then of course they have the CoQ10, which is what I have. So I've only tried this. I have very limited exposure to this. I've tried this once. This is absolutely first impression. My first impression was it took me a minute to figure out how to put all of this together. I really did have to sit down. It wasn't intuitive necessarily, but once I did figure it out, it's like, oh, I get it now. It's definitely really, really intriguing and innovative. And I think that that's what's really exciting about this kind of stuff is when you see something new and innovative. And I just think it's pretty cool. I will be testing out this CoQ10. For me, I'm using it in the morning. As most of you know, I have a ton of things in my routine already. So I decided to only start with one single serum, not get a bunch of them, because frankly, I don't know where I would fit it into my routine. What I'm doing now is, because I want to test this, I'm actually putting this on first in the morning. And then I can go in with any of the other, antioxidants that I want. I can use my Avène Retinol, the bakuchiol. I can use astaxanthin if I want. CoQ10 plays well with basically everything. It is the application, the one single time that I used it, it is not sticky. It does not leave you feeling really like you put anything on your skin. You feel like your skin is still fresh and clean. I did start to apply it and then remembered that the instructions said to put it on damp skin. And I definitely think that that is something to remember. I sprayed down with my Avène, my thermal spring water, and the application was even nicer. So you definitely want to apply this to damp skin. But then I thought, my skin just feels fresh and ready to move on with my skincare routine. I did not feel like I added too much to the mix where now I'm going to feel heavy. If I love it, I may try something else from the line. My next choice would probably be the resveratrol and green tea, because that can be really, really helpful with hyperpigmentation. But I'm going to wait until I kind of assess this one first. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is another bakuchiol product that is incredibly interesting to me. It's by Tula. This is an eye cream from Tula. Now, I went out and got this one. It is called Eye Recharge and Replenish Pro Firm Overnight Complex. Now, I am usually one with eye creams, especially at night. I like to see a retinoid in them. This is bakuchiol based, and I thought, oh, I'll go get it and maybe I'll use it in the morning. It is definitely meant for nighttime. I did try to use it this one time in the morning, and it's very buttery, and so it's not really made to be worn under makeup or anything like that. And they tell you that it is an overnight eye cream. I love the packaging of this. Tula did a great job. It's one of those where you pump it out and you get a dose, just kind of like the Exponent. You get a dose of the eye cream. I will tell you that one pump pumps more than you need, so you don't need to depress it all the way down. And I really, really like the ingredient deck in this. When I got it because of the bakuchiol, because I got really, really interested in bakuchiol in the last month or so, and mostly because of the Avène Retinol serum that I really fell for, and I started thinking maybe I should look into bakuchiol a little bit more. It is so non-irritating, and it is so interesting as an alternative to retinol, and I love the fact that it's non-irritating, and that means less inflammation than from a retinoid, and there can be an argument that that can be really good around your eyes. Okay, so I got this, and then I looked at the ingredient deck and I was blown away by all of the other great ingredients that are in here. They did a smashing job with this eye cream. Again, though, I'm really, really new to it. I'm really liking this for the innovation of the bakuchiol, all of those humectants, all of those things that are going to help with your barrier, the ceramides, etc. I think they did a really good job. So this is the Tula. This is the Eye Recharge and Replenish. I'll be using this at night and I will report back, but so far so good. It's a very, very pleasant eye cream to use at night. Now this one I'm not going to spend too much time on because we've talked about this already. This is the Avène Retinol. I want to make clear though, this is in the Retinol line from Avène, which that is usually retinaldehyde. This is not retinaldehyde. So I had some people kind of confused because I'm using this in the morning, and I said so in a previous video. I'm using this in the morning because it's bakuchiol based, and even though you can use retinaldehyde in the daytime, I don't usually. I usually use retinaldehyde at night primarily, but this one is bakuchiol based. So they put it in the Retronal line because bakuchiol is kind of thought to be a plant-based alternative to a retinoid. Now, there is definitely early studies on that kind of thing that show that it actually may work as well as some retinoids without the irritation, which means without the inflammation, which is pro-aging over time. Now, this is a really, really interesting serum to me because it also has the niacinamide and then it has hyaluronic acid. It's a beautiful hydrating serum that like I said, I'm only using during the day. I did mention this before that PENN is it's pretty cool on their website how they tell you how long a product will last. Now, this is expensive, and it says it's only going to last 30 days. So that is definitely something to take in consideration. The way that they say to use this is morning and night, and you truly could use this morning and night because it is so non-irritating. Unless you have too many other niacinamide things in your routine, you might just, there's niacinamides everywhere, so you may end up with too much niacinamide in your routine, and that can be irritating to some people. But for me, I'm not going to use this morning and night, so I know that this will last me 2 months, not one. And for that, I think that it is worth it. I already have my night routine pretty jam-packed. So again, this is just in the AM. Pretty excited about this launch from PENN. I love the brand already, and I do think that this was a pretty good launch from them. So that is the Retronal with bakuchiol, not retinoids. Okay, next let's talk about a launch from Soft Services. This is a relatively new brand to me, and it is a brand that is all body skincare. I really actually think that that's pretty cool because there's so much attention given to, our face and our neck. And most of us, myself included, we neglect our body skin quite a bit until we get into the summer when we expose a lot more of our body skin. And then we're like, oh yeah, we got to do some self-tanning. We got to do some hydrating, moisturizing, all that stuff. This is their Speed Soak Skin Rehydrating Gel. So essentially, this is a big old tube of super duper hydration in a very, very lightweight gel cream fashion. So you get 5.5 ounces, and it is just uber moisturizing and hydrating. It definitely does take your skin right to hydrated. Now, the way that I have used this, and it's only been twice that I've used this, is straight out of the shower or the bath when your skin is still damp. You put this on and it definitely gives you this surge, this real drink of water for your body skin. I think that this launch is kind of timely here in the United States because we're in the summer and this is extremely lightweight. Think of it like the lightest weight serum for your face that really, really hydrates and packs a punch of, hydration for your face. That's what this is, but for your body. And I do find it to be really, really nice for sure. Anyway, I think that this is an interesting launch from them. My first product from Soft Services that I've even tried. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of their other products. They have some really interesting products for acne for the body, which I think that that's a really neat thing. That is one of those conditions that you don't want to use your facial stuff on your body. You'll go through it so fast. So I do think that it's neat that someone has created skincare specifically for the body in a body-sized product that targets certain skin conditions like dryness, dehydration, acne, etc. So that is Soft Services, an interesting launch from them for sure. Next, let's talk about, I'm going to talk about the one makeup thing that has blown me away. I already know it's a instant favorite, and it was the Tubing Mascara from Tarte. I realize that this is not super exciting, you guys, but I was so stoked when I saw this. I think I got an email from Sephora. Now, I've gone into Sephora before and specifically asked for tubing mascaras on the off chance that I don't know about one that is here or there. I, of course, know that there is one from what the heck is it called? I have it right here. Hourglass. There's one from Hourglass. In fact, you guys, I just picked up the tubing mascara called Unlocked. Is this it? Yes, I just picked this up from Hourglass because I really do like this one. I love tubing mascara, especially in the summer. Actually, I like it all year long. And my very favorite is Thrive. I've talked about that one forever. Now, Thrive definitely does have a leg up, in my opinion, because they make one in a beautiful brown color. And I love brown mascara. I just think it's so soft and it's really pretty. So that's from Thrive. I just don't always love having to replenish. I like to sometimes just run out and grab something that I want. I like to be able to run to Sephora and grab a mascara if I find that my mascara is dried out or whatever. I'm not always good about ordering them. So that's where Thrive kind of is a downfall. I realize that's really kind of silly, but you know, that's just the way it is. So when I saw that Tarte was launching a tubing mascara, I thought, well, I'm going to go check that out. As soon as it came into Sephora, I ran down and I picked it up. The very first time that I used it, I was like, okay, this is as good, if not better, than the Thrive. It has a similar type wand. It's just a rubber wand. So you got to like the rubber wand, but it doesn't have super like spiky, like long spiky little, what do you call those? Bristles. It has short spiky bristles. And so I don't find that I poke myself in the eye because some mascaras that have the rubber wand, I end up poking myself in the eye. I am going to be 49 in just a few months, and I've been putting on mascara, for a solid 30 years, and I still will poke myself in the eye and wind up with tears running down my face. This doesn't have that at all. It gives you immediate volume in your eyelashes, which is also something that doesn't always happen with tubing mascaras. In the beginning, tubing mascaras were like Blink, and there was another one from Ico, and man, you got really beautiful natural lashes, but they were not voluminous in any way. You couldn't build them out without looking spidery. This gives you volume and you can build length, and it does not get clumpy. And sure enough, it rinses off. It comes off at night with splash, splash, splash of water, which is the key for tubing mascara. If you try to remove tubing mascara with, like eye makeup remover, you'll be really, really upset. You will think this is the worst mascara of life because it does not come off. Because it doesn't come off with eye makeup remover, it comes off with tepid water. And all you have to do is splash, 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 or be in a shower for a little while, and literally the tubes just come off. No tugging, no rubbing, nothing necessary. They basically form a tube around your lashes that, once it's set, it's just set until it's exposed to a ton of water, and then it comes off. It's really, really wonderful. And I have to say, the best mascara launch I have seen in years. And that says a lot. I'm a mascara snob. I love this one. So that is from Tarte. It is their new tubing mascara. Last thing that launched that is very surprising to me that I really, really enjoyed is from Dermaflash. Now, there are several different versions of this Dermaflash tool. This is for doing a dermaplaning, or really getting rid of the peach fuzz on your face and your neck, etc. This is the Dermaflash Luxe Plus. Now what they're saying is that this uses sonic energy, and that it is like twice the amount of sonic energy as its predecessor, as the model before this one. And basically what you do is you have clean skin and you have blades, and you just put one of these. This is rechargeable. You literally have it on a charging port. You put a new blade on and you can dermaplane your face and your neck, etc. Now, I did dermaplaning on clients in office all the time. I used to dermaplane myself all the time with an actual scalpel. I mean, I did the whole, blade, and I love it. I love dermaplaning. I think that it is one of the things that we can do that immediately makes your skin look better. It immediately makes your makeup go on better. It transforms the way that your skin looks. It is probably one of the most underrated skin treatments ever, because it truly does change. I mean, I had people in office when I would do a dermaplaning, they literally walked out looking like different people, because of course, I would do an enzyme peel right after I would dermaplane, and then of course I would hydrate the heck out of their skin. And because you could truly see the skin and the light would reflect and it didn't get stuck, in hairs and stuff like that. Makeup doesn't get stuck in hairs. It's really, really a transforming treatment. Now, my opinion on things like this has usually been, well, that's really great for getting peach fuzz. I mean, for shaving off the hair, but you're not going to get a lot of skin. This one was a little bit different. I was actually pretty surprised. I used it and I definitely got a dermaplaning session. Now, is it going to be the same as an actual scalpel? No, of course not. That's obvious. But it's definitely safer than using a scalpel, more user-friendly for sure. And the closest thing I think that I've ever gotten in a tool that is as safe as this is. Usually when you head towards safe when it comes to dermaplaning, you get less dermaplaning, more shaving. I feel like you kind of got a bridge of dermaplaning / also shaving, of course, with this one, because it definitely felt like it got closer than I could get by just shaving. And I chalk that up to the sonic, vibration or whatever that's in here. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised. Now, I've only used this once, and, you get these blades, and basically you can dermaplane, you can dermaplane as often as you want. Typically people dermaplane every 3, 4, 5 weeks kind of thing. You don't need to dermaplane like weekly or anything. So a pack of 5 blades should last you close to half a year. So this was an interesting and impressive launch to me. Let me know in the comments if you use these Dermaflash, if you use a tool like this and what you think of it. And also let me know if you are somebody who does dermaplane, or if you've dermaplaned in office and then you used one of these, and especially if you've used this new one, what do you think? How do you compare them? Because I definitely know, obviously there is definitely a difference, but I think that if you are worried about nicking yourself or cutting yourself or any of that kind of stuff that comes along with actual dermaplaning with a blade of any kind, you don't really have to worry about that with this. So that's pretty cool. If there are any other new launches out there that you're really interested in, or even things that aren't new launches that I've just never spoken about, let me know in the comments. I am always up for ordering new skincare, testing it out for you guys, and giving you the lowdown. Whether or not I'm going to use it or not, I'm happy to try it out for you and give you my opinion on that product. I do hope that you are having a really wonderful day. I hope that this was fun. I hope that this was like perusing a magazine at all of the new and kind of just seeing what is out there and what's interesting and innovative. I hope your summer is going well, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.